This is Michael Popok, Legal AF. Even when Donald Trump files a paper where he's trying in a courtroom to prevent bad things from happening to him, he can't help himself but to try to attack and threaten the judge as well. We've got yet another example just in the last 24 hours in the D.C. election interference case presided over by Judge Chutkan. Yesterday was the day that Donald Trump had to file what the judge was expecting was not a threat against her, but what the judge was expecting was what she ordered him to do, is to go through the over 300 pages plus exhibits of the government's filing, the second filing, if you will, of evidence in the form of an appendix to make sure that he agreed with the government's proposal about which part of that needed to have black tape over it, redacted, and which part of it could end up in the public domain. Because she's been sitting on it for over 10 days and she wants to get it up so the public can see it, so that we can see it on Legal AF and the media can see it, First Amendment right, freedom of the press, and the public justice system gets what it's required to obtain. Is that what Donald Trump and his lawyers, Emile Beauvais and Todd Blanche, filed? No. Instead, they decided in 3/4 of a page, it's not even a full page, when you remove the case name at the top and the signature block for the lawyers at the bottom, it's literally 2 paragraphs. And in the 2 paragraphs, rather than do what the judge told them to do, what she was expecting them to do, they decided to do a veiled threat. Donald Trump's filings always have some sort of menacing, I wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley alone type quality to them. And in this one, instead of saying, which is what I thought they would say, and what I told them they should say the last time when they screwed this up, is they should ask the judge if she's inclined to agree with the government, which she is, and she's already granted their request, to publish most of the 300 new pages, new evidence demonstrating his criminal mind and his criminal acts against Donald Trump, that she give them a brief amount of time to seek appellate review or an emergency petition or injunction or stay order at the 2 levels of appeal above Judge Chutkan, the D.C. Court of Appeals, and then, of course, the United States Supreme Court. So any rational person who's not trying to threaten the judge would have written it this way. Here's a little Legal AF tutorial. You would say, Judge, we request respectfully that you provide us a sufficient amount of time, no shorter than 5 days, in order for us to prepare the appropriate papers on the following grounds, supported by the following case law, to seek a stay of your order, because we don't think, respectfully, that you did it right. We think that your whole process about how you're analyzing whether the immunity decision from the Supreme Court maps on and how it maps on to the superseding indictment is upside down, and you've gone too far and you've abused your discretion. And here's some case law that says you have. There's no case law. That's why they don't cite to any. And give us that time to seek the stay, citing a case about courts above her issuing stays. Maybe there's a case where she's been stayed before, and that's what you do. What you don't do is what Donald Trump's lawyers have done, which is to say, we need more time to pursue and explore other litigation options. All right, what would they be? And the judge was even like, in her sarcastic response, putting it in quotes, sure, I'll give you a week to explore other litigation options, which for those out there that don't follow the law as closely as we do here on Legal AF, that's not a thing, right? An ELO is not there's no doctrine. There's no exploring litigation options doctrine. This is the Popok translate portion of the hot take. That doesn't exist. That's made up. That's not even filler language to buy some time because you can't come up with your argument on your feet. This was in writing. They had time to review this document before they signed it under penalty, right? If they're signing things that are not without merit, no merit to them, they could be penalized as lawyers and sanctioned as lawyers. So they didn't use any of the magic language. We're going to seek a stay, cite a case. We're going to seek an injunction, cite a case. We're going to file an emergency application or petition, cite a case. No, it was this veiled threat of, we're coming after you. This is how I read it. We're coming after you personally, Judge Chutkan, to try to get you removed from the case, an emergency motion to disqualify, or sue you directly for who knows what. They'll think of something. That's the veiled threat, exploring litigation options. And then, in invisible ink against you, Judge Chutkan. Now, what's my basis for this analysis? Every state and federal judge that Donald Trump has gotten sideways with because he's wrong, or he's been convicted, or because he's been adjudged to be a sexual abuser, he's attacked the judge, and not just the judge. So let's just do that. Let's just do the count right now. He's attacked Lewis Kaplan, the judge presiding over 2 sex assault cases in federal court brought by E. Jean Carroll that Donald Trump lost. He's attacked Judge Merchan, the judge presiding over the 34 felony count conviction in New York State court in the Stormy Daniels affair. He's attacked Judge Merchan for when he presided over an earlier case in a 17-count conviction against 2 Trump entities for business fraud and tax fraud. He's gone after, and I'm just doing judge. This is just the judge section of my hot take at this moment. So you've got Merchan, you've got Kaplan in New York, and then third in New York, you've got Engoron, Judge Arthur Engoron, presiding over Donald Trump's tremendous flameout, where he lost a $456 million civil fraud judgment, maybe reduced by one of the courts of appeal. But he went after the judge and attacked the judge. He's also attacked before Judge Chutkan, calling her a Marxist, a socialist, because she was also a Democrat president appointed. And so you've got Chutkan so far, and Goron. You've got Lewis Kaplan, and you've got Merchan, all up in New York. He hasn't. The only 2 he hasn't attacked, frankly, are Judge McAfee, the judge presiding over the Georgia case, who's a Republican, and the person he put on the bench, Judge Aileen Cannon down in Florida. And what did she do for him lately? She dismissed the entire Mar-a-Lago case, subject to the 11th Circuit reinstating it in the next month or so. So he's been gagged because of his attacks on judges. And it's not just judges. He also attacks judges' family, the wife of Judge Engoron, the daughter of Judge Merchan, Judge Lewis Kaplan's relationship with one of the lawyers that were against Donald Trump in the E. Jean Carroll case, the principal law clerk and her dating life in the New York Attorney General civil fraud case, Judge Engoron's wife, as I said before. Look at my recording studio. You don't think I worry about window treatments? You don't think I care about privacy? Look at the windows behind me. I need window treatments. And now finally, there's a better way to buy blinds and window treatments. It's called 3-Day Blinds. They're the leading manufacturer of custom window treatments in the U.S. And right now they're running a buy one, get one 50% off deal. We can shop for almost anything at home. Why not shop for blinds at home too? 3-Day Blinds has local, professionally trained design consultants who have an average of 10 years or more of experience that provide expert guidance on the right blinds for you in the comfort of your home. Just set up an appointment and you'll get a free, no obligation quote the same day. Not very handy? I'm not. The expert team at 3-Day Blinds handles all the heavy lifting. They design, measure, and install, so you can sit back, relax, and leave it to the pros. There's a better way to buy blinds and window treatments. It's called 3-Day Blinds. They're the leading manufacturer of custom window treatments in the U.S. 3-Day Blinds has been in business for 45 years, and you may not hear it in the name, but they make an incredibly high-quality product. That's why they are the highest rated blinds company on Trustpilot at 4.7 out of 5 stars. No matter your unique need, from motorization to home automation to room darkening or child safety, with 3-Day Blinds, you choose from thousands of options that fit any budget or style, and with actual samples, you won't be guessing about what your blinds will look like. Right now, you can get 3-Day Blinds, buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds, shades, shutters, and drapery. For a free, no-charge, no-obligation consultation, just head to 3dayblinds.com/legalaf. That's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to 3dayblinds.com/legalaf. One last time, that's the number 3, DAY, blinds.com/legalaf. Then you've got the next layer of attacks. All the prosecutors and everybody and all the attorney generals against Donald Trump. By the way, he also attacked the judge in Colorado who found that he was an insurrectionist and should be removed from the ballot. Prosecutors, Manhattan DA, threatened to brain the Manhattan DA with a baseball bat and used violent rhetoric against him in his office. The New York Attorney General, Letitia James, called her an animal, used a racist slur against her, called her Peekaboo James. She happens to be black. There's a terrible, terrible racist comment that's the equivalent of the N-word, which I won't even use, which sounds like peekaboo. Look it up. So prosecutors, right? DAs. Jack Smith, unhinged, rabid, crazed, unhinged, hostile. And then all the family members. The daughter of Judge Merchan gets attacked frequently. The wife of Judge Engoron gets attacked frequently. Jack Smith's daughter gets attacked frequently. And so he's had gag orders against them. They've been carefully tailored by the various judges to be, usually the judges are like, I don't care if you attack me, but don't attack my staff. You can attack the prosecutors by name who were involved with the main prosecutor, the DA and the special counsel, but not their staff. Then he goes after the FBI and Secret Service agents and puts them in harm's way with crosshairs on their back. So you have to come to the analysis of the new filing against Judge Chutkan with that as a background and context. If it was just a one-off and this guy's name, the defendant's name wasn't Donald Trump, I'd be like, well, that's just a weird turn of a phrase. Exploring litigation options. But in the context that I just gave you, it's a threat. And that's how I'm sure Judge Chutkan received it. I'm not sure she does anything about it other than what she did, which is effectively, bring it. I don't care a legal AF about you. If she could have put a sarcastic emoji in or one of those vomiting emojis after she put, I'll give you time to explore your litigation options, bring it. But it's inappropriate. And it's another assault on a pillar of our society, the support system of our democracy that undergirds it, our justice system. And when you destabilize it and you make people feel insecure and untrusting of pillars of our society, I mean, whoever thought that there was any value except in a madman's weird stew in his brain of attacking FEMA and undermining FEMA and people's confidence in FEMA during a major hurricane with loss of life into the thousands. But Donald Trump got up one morning and said, I think it's a great idea to make people fearful of FEMA. Let's make fearful of FEMA is today's watchword. Let's make people too scared to accept the aid and assistance that they're being sent so that they're more in jeopardy than before. But is there an institution in America that Donald Trump hasn't tried to destabilize for his own benefit? Right? FBI, hollowed them out, destabilized them. Law enforcement, when it suits him. Judges, federal judges, state judges, appellate judges. The criminal justice system overall. FEMA, you name it. The media, the enemy of the people. So you have to read it in this context. And I think the next steps are relatively straightforward. I like to end these hot takes on a hopeful note, on a call to action note. Judge Chutkan's going to take one look, has already taken one look at that half page of paper by Donald Trump and rejected it. She's going to give him a week. So check back here on 10/17, on October 17th, when I tell you that Judge Chutkan has pushed the publish button. And on the 18th, or even on the 17th, when she hasn't gotten a stay against her by any appellate court, and I doubt there's an appellate court, D.C. Court of Appeals is not going to stay Judge Chutkan and her broad discretion to decide what goes into the public docket and what doesn't. There's no way. And even this United States Supreme Court, I don't think they can count to 5 to bail Donald Trump out on this issue. Not on this issue. Not given what Chief Justice Roberts has required. All we're doing right now is solving for a problem created by Justice Roberts. He's requiring this fact-based, fact-bound analysis, which has required Jack Smith to back up the tractor-trailer of evidence and dump it on Judge Chutkan and on Trump. And the American people get it as a byproduct, which I love. That was something that was created by Chief Justice Roberts, not by Jack Smith. And the timing of it is because of Chief Justice Roberts and Donald Trump. Nobody told the Supreme Court to have the oral argument on this issue on the very last day, the very last hour of their term last year. They could have done it 3 months earlier. Nobody told them to issue the order, the decision, on July 1st, the very last day, very last decision of the United States Supreme Court's last term. Nobody told them to do that. They could have done the hearing 90 days earlier. They could have issued the opinion 60 days earlier. And this wouldn't be a quote-unquote October surprise. I'd be doing this hot take in March or April or June at the latest. This is all Donald Trump's doing. And the United States Supreme Court trying to help out Donald Trump by dragging their feet and putting time on his side. That's all we're watching right now. And now we got to clean up behind the elephants, which is what Judge Chutkan's doing. And she's doing a great job. Come back here on October 17th when we have 300 plus pages plus dozens and dozens of exhibits and witness summaries and statements and evidence against Donald Trump to report on Legal AF. We got so much to talk about at Legal AF that MeidasTouch and Legal AF, we got together and said, we need another channel. And so after 4 years, we created Legal AF MTN for MeidasTouch Network. Go there now on YouTube. I'm curating it. I'm the executive producer. Subscribe to it. It's free. And as good, bring a friend. We're trying to get to 200,000 by this weekend in less than our first month of existence. But we've been around when I try to tell people it's an overnight sensation, 4 years in the making. That's how long. That's when Ben and I founded Legal AF. So come over there. I sit at the intersection of law and politics. We're doing 5 to 10 videos a day, including from contributors that you know and love from the Meidas universe and new contributors like Court Accountability, who's doing regular hot takes and analysis about fraud and corruption and scandals in the federal court system, all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, and then tells you what you can do about it. Only on Legal AF MTN. So I'll see you over there. This is Michael Popok reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.